Okay, so now we're going to move on to white objects, and I'm going to do her dress. And I do two different things when I color white. I use either gray, a light gray, or a very light blue. And my blue, I use BG000. And when I'm using grays, I use C1, C2, and sometimes C3. It just depends. And the object of making something look white is really just not coloring most of the image. So I'm going to just show you how I would do her dress if I was using blue tones. And I will tell you that the majority of the time I tend to use my light grays for white objects, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of two different effects that you could do. So I want her dress to be white, so I'm taking my BG000, which is pale aqua, and again I'm just going along the areas that might be, I'm kind of giving it an outline, I guess you could say. And then I'm just going to go in here and give her dress a few shadows, where maybe the dress has a few little wrinkles. And just adding a little bit around the edges. And then you can darken up some of the spots. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to see because this is so very light, but this is how I would do it if I was just going to leave it white. And again, you just kind of give a little bit of an outline to her dress if you're going to use the blue tones. My favorite, though, would be using gray. I'm going to show you how I would do this. This is actually a Karen Terrier, but today we're going to make him a Westie, so pretend along with me. And usually for an animal with fur, if I'm doing something white, I'll use a darker C3 just in a few spots. You don't want a lot because you don't want him to look gray. Just a few little spots, nothing major. I just more or less want to give a little bit of a shadow. And that would be C3. And then taking C2, I'm just going to kind of go in a few more spots and add just a little bit more. To really make him look like he's white. And of course with this, you're not going to be blending much. It's just about laying down a little bit of color. And this is C1 that I've gone to now. And I'm just moving. C1 is great for shadows. Super light. If you want to outline the outside of your image, this is a great color for it too. And again, I'm just moving forward where I've already done. And I'm kind of making it a little splotchy because obviously an animal's fur is not solid and not always smooth. I'll add a little bit here around his nose. And that's how I would do the dog, and I don't know if you can see, but it's just very light. It gives him a little bit of a shadowing, but still makes him look white. And then of course you could outline him in a blue to really, this is BG00 again, 000, sorry, to really make him pop. And that's how I would do that. And same thing if you were coloring a white ball. You know, I recommend using C1 and C2. And you really just want to give an outline of the object and maybe a few places of shadowing, but you really want the image to look white. And again, you can do it with the blue. I prefer the gray, and also the black dress and black hair. So I hope that's helped a little bit. I know it is tricky to use, and you have to work it a little while, and you know, don't be afraid to go back in and add more color if you don't think it's dark enough. But definitely the grays are the best way to go. And again, I used C5, C7, C9, C5, C7, C9, and C3. Okay, I forgot for a minute, for the dress. And I don't tend to vary that often. I like those colors for black. So, but you know, you can try others. The warm grays give a little bit different tone, a little bit of a browner tone. I like the cool grays a lot better. So anyways, I hope that was a little bit helpful to you, and thanks for stopping by.